Give it to me now. They gon' make a sister act up. Turn my attitude back up. Get it back, get it back, get it back. Count the money up. Call the girls up for backup.
The Couchies.
Hij was in meneer. Hou je glas vast op voor.
So, the Couchies League has been, the previous season has been pretty easy. For me it was easy. but it's been actually monumental. And when I say monumental, I mean it's been a league that has let a lot of guys that weren't interested in fantasy football be drawn into it. So I know I won it. I don't know if you got that. I won it. I won the first league, but I feel actually, I honestly do feel that it was a bit of a cheat. Because I won it. Because I've played it before. So I'm gonna go through all the guys that I've played before, and my first question to everybody is going to be, how did you feel about the first season? Not what you're gonna do, the first season.
To be honest, I would say that my first season was a learning curve. I have made what we call now amateur mistakes, playing chips too early in the season. I think the more experienced guys like the Adrians and the Carlisle Lentings and the Pauls had advantage on us because of playing the game for many years, not many years, but had more experience than us. So they actually made their moves late in the season where most of us played all our chips early in the season. So if there's one lesson I've learned of the last season is that you need those chips. You need to strategically plan those chips when you play it. That's one key. And what I've also noticed, and that's my last point I want to make, what I've also noticed is that taking unnecessary hits, like some days we were minus 12, minus 6, and it's unnecessary where you just can roll over to the next game week and just play and just make 2 changes. I think a guy like Ali, I don't know my stats, but I'm just making an example. Ali had almost minus 102, if I'm right, Ali?
245 points.
245 points in taking in minuses in hits. So that's an indication for me. Like a guy like Adrian is very circumspect. He plans his changes. So that's one point I want to take into the next season.
So you've actually learned not from yourself, you learn from other people, yes. which is good. Which is good. And you ended where in the league?
I ended 7th.
You ended 7th.
I was at the time I was at 10th place. I think post lockdown I've moved 2 places, which sorry.
He actually ended 8th. He was trying to
top 4. To be honest, top 4 was
he was actually 8th. But we're moving on to Liney. Liney started also, as I can say, like everybody else, not knowing what was fantasy about. So, Liney, how did you feel? You ended
Lost.
He ended lost.
You wanna know how I feel? Dead.
Wooden spoon.
Yes. But okay, one thing I learned, and it was a laughing matter at the time. I said, you guys all get 100s, I'm also gonna get 100, and I actually took a minus 101. Sure. I thought go big or go home. Yeah. But yes, I learned a lot. And after the lockdown, I kind of actually, the first half, I didn't pay as much attention. And after the lockdown, because I had more time, I could actually sit and think through my things. And started doing better. But I was a bit too little, too late. So I actually learned to prep more, give myself more time to actually pick my players and pick my
Yes.
teams. And that's where I learned from. So
think
that's a
I-
lesson I took away. So
I
with
think
the
like
new
you was
season,
top 3 in after
be better.
post-lockdown, eh?
yes. So with the new season, I'm gonna take the attitude of my second half back into the new.
And I can also say that post lockdown, Lionel was also one of those people that didn't know what fantasy was about. But post lockdown, I think he was in the top 3 or top 4. No?
Top 3.
So he did very well. So which also leads to one of which leads to people who improve so well. And I think no one can doubt the person that improved the most was Robbie. Robbie, what was your feeling about fantasy football? Starting from a week later than everybody else, and then ending in the top 6.
Initially, I wasn't enjoying.
Yes.
After the first week, you know the comments.
Yeah.
I saw the comments as a what they could join. But what I noticed is if you get the unknowns, the mounts, the medicines, Cadwells, labellas, what you call differentials.
Differentials.
If you and Rod Bloomstrom, my favorite player, if you have them in and nobody else has them in, you can actually score. And a few weeks, I even Pulisic, and nobody
Before
had faith in the Americans.
Pulisic was common.
I had
He
faith
was the
in the
first one.
Americans. I had faith in him, I don't know why, but he pulled through. And
I think everyone was playing Pulisic at the end.
it was Pulisic at the end, but I mean, if you had him, Tammy also, me and Anthony had confidence in him, and he pulled through a few weeks, now and then, and 1 week I scored 93, I think that's my highest. I'm very proud of a 93, not even 100, but I mean close. Hopefully this year, 100. But overall,
Remind you guys, it's 200 and up for scoring the first 100.
but overall, Fantasy League, Bundesliga, I'm
Great
playing
stuff.
again, great stuff. Good learning curve. I know players, I mean at work, they asked me, why are you happy sitting one? Then I told them, because I got KDB in my team. Then I asked, what team? Then I had to explain the whole process. Because they don't play Fantasy League, but they understood afterwards.
I must say, Robbie was one of those guys that, I mean, he even started a week later than everybody else, but he ended in the top 6 of 12. So Robbie did very well. We all recognize Robbie's skill in choosing it, and the fact that we all feel that way, that you support Kevin De Bruyne, even though you don't support him.
Fernandes.
If he scores a goal, or Fernandes scores a goal.
Kijk, ik wil het zeggen, ik wil beginnen om die groep te gezichten. En het wordt verder gevat. Ik is net blij dat hulle zo met elkaar kan zitten. Op die einde van de dag, was lief voor elkaar. Zijn sometimes vrienden en sometimes vrienden. I can go to town, I can go to call, I can go to line. Ons allemaal elkaar die een zekere redes, né? Die dan het sê, met call up jare gevat. As jy jare, die EPL of FPL en Factor, dis net nie my te doen. Ek is net bly dat ons weer mekaar kan gesien het. En die selfde van, ons mekaar verloor.
Ons mekaar verloor en toe kry ons mekaar weer. The one person that really took it to heart was Ellie.
Yes.
Ellie, you did, Ellie. I mean, we all can admit you took it to heart. You love this fantasy football,
Ali brought passion to it.
and you started
Especially
researching,
Especially
and we appreciate you. How do you feel Your first year of fantasy football.
Nou, net bij op zijn.
Sucks. Yeah. Thought I was gonna be like at least top 4, top 3, maybe top 2. I ended up in the relegation zone. I always believed myself to be a knowledgeable footy owner. Premier League as my course. Premier League as my course. That's it. FPL.
Maar weer had ze toen hebben, weer
Something else.
Totally different ballgame. Like Robbie said.
Oh yes.
Ik had op Witness 3. Dank je toch, Spurs het geweest. For the love of me, I have no idea who kon. Is er 3 Manchester United players? I think they were like, yo, 3 Liverpool. All of a sudden, 3 Man United guys. In my team. Ik lijkt ze van maar is oké. Greenwood is er. Greenwood? Maar ik wil even. I don't know what it means for me.
No.
Camaraderie, the like positivity, the jokes.
I'm gonna close it down.
The jokes. And the hits. The hits. I don't know what happened.
Dit is de Hitmeister.
Yeah.
We call it.
The Hitmeister.
Title Hitmeister hence. Er staat ze maar nog een league, maar Bundesliga.
Ja.
Anyway,
was op zijn hier.
and basically, yeah, calling. Now to love for me. I love competition.
Yes.
I thrive on it. And all of a sudden, I've always been, when I watch the like the Premier League and you see this FPL thing,
And you didn't know what it was.
but all of a sudden,
You knew what it's about.
you know what it's about,
I love it.
and you
We all were interested.
and I'm still reaching.
I was the same, brother.
I'm still reaching, and a minute to minute. That's
True, bro.
Niet meer geld,
So as you guys can see, the guys who are not here today, we are the Couchies League. We're not all of us are not here, but we had a great time and we're gonna continue next season to have a great time.
Ik wil het zeggen,
Harte, eerlijk.
Are we gonna say bye bye? Hard en eerlijk is alles. Are we gonna say?
Get it back, get it back, get it back. Yeah, 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 yeah.